That's right. You'd all repeat after me the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. I'm Paula Wolf. I'm the chair of the Illinois Tollway. I want to thank you all for coming and welcoming you today. Unfortunately, Governor Quinn could not be here. As you know, I'm sure, this is a very, very important issue for him. He's always been supportive of veterans, and when he heard that this was going to take place this morning, he was very sorry he couldn't come, and sends you his best, particularly to the veterans who showed up today and their families. Christy LaFleur as well, who is the executive director, couldn't be here. She's meeting with the United States Secretary of Transportation and some foreign dignitaries. She was torn, but I think she decided when it was all said and done, her duty was with the United States Department of Transportation, but she did ask me to convey her very best to all of you. I want to acknowledge Jim Healy, who did the bagpipe and drum for the from the Emerald Society, the Chicago Police Department, who provided the music. Let's give him a round of applause. I also want to acknowledge the color guard, the Vietnam Vet Chapter 311, and the Displaced American Legion Honor Guard. We're walking with the color guard today, so we want to thank them for being here. And the pledge was given by Roger McGill, who is the Vietnam Post 242. I know that many of the veterans were notified recently of this event, and we really appreciate their turning out and coming today. The bagpipe songs were Undog Day, the U.S. military anthem. So who knew that that was the song? I would also like to acknowledge the elected officials who are here today as well. Sarah, you would just step forward when I call your name. Sarah Keep, who's with Congressman Tammy Duckworth. Sarah, oh, here you are. I'm sorry. I thought you were up here with us. Congresswoman Duckworth was also sorry she couldn't attend today, but we appreciate her having sent Sarah. State Representative Kathy Will. Thank you, Kathy, for coming. We appreciate it. Mayor Barbara Piltover from Schiller Park. She tells us that while this is the O'Hare Oasis, it's actually in Schiller Park. So we're grateful to have our host here today. Des Plaines Alderman Jack Robinson. Jack, thank you so much for coming. Would you like to come up here? You're certainly welcome to do that. Thank you. Did I miss any elected officials? Acknowledge one of my fellow board members, Jeff Reddick, who is a member of the Tollway Board, and Mike Stone, who is the Chief of Staff, excuse me, for the Illinois Tollway, and we appreciate their coming here. This is a wonderful occasion, but it's caused by something that has created quite a bit of consternation, and that is the tearing down of the Des Plaines Oasis. Who knew when the Tollway made the decision to do our new plan, which is a $12 billion, 15-year redo of the tollway system, that one of the casualties of that would be having to take down the Des Plaines Oasis. And we've heard from lots of people who had their first date at the Des Plaines Oasis, who got engaged at the Des Plaines Oasis. Goodness knows what else happened at the Des Plaines Oasis. But we do know that one of the things that was there that we did not want to have lost in the debris was the memorial plaque that we're going to unveil and install here today. And so with the nostalgia that went with the Des Plaines Oasis, we also have a new beginning here, which I think is an important step to acknowledging the importance of those who were the servicemen declared missing in action during the Vietnam War and World War II. The new monument and existing memorial sign have been put together. They both honor the dedication and commitment of the veterans of all the eras. Together they help us remember the courage and the sacrifice of those who accepted duty in protecting our country. And we're very delighted to have the memorials here at this oasis, at the O'Hare Oasis, because they're located now along one of our busiest roads. There are about 165,000 vehicles that pass every day by this site, and we hope all of them will come into the oasis. And we know that if they do, they will see these memorials, and it's very fitting that so many of the people who are alive today will see them and remember the important contributions that have happened in the past, the bravery and the dedications of the veterans who are described here, as well as all of the others who have fought. I want to introduce Rodrigo Garcia, who's the acting director of the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs, and whose agency worked with us to create this new memorial site. Director?
Well, thank you very much. It's a great morning to be out here today. It's a beautiful weather, temperature. I think we couldn't have asked for anything more. So first and foremost, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow brothers and sisters who served in uniform, as well as my fellow citizens from the great state of Illinois. I am honored to be here today in support of this very important event and to help rededicate one memorial and dedicate a new one as well. Now, as Paula just mentioned, we want to thank everyone who was involved in this dedication for your leadership, including the tollway, which, as you have known, you may not have known, has been an active leader to ensure that the sacrifices and the memories of those who have served in uniform have not been forgotten. Whether it's the Veterans Memorial out in the 355 or the rededication of a overpass just a few weeks ago on the north end of the 294, the tollway continues to lead from the front and lead by example. And so to the tollway team who was instrumental in putting this together, I thank you for the honor. We thank you on behalf of our Illinois veterans. Now, in this new memorial area, we have an opportunity to educate and keep the service and sacrifice of those who served, sweated, and bled for us front and center as hundreds of thousands of vehicles go through this tollway, and many of whom we hope stop at this Oasis and take a few minutes to observe this memorial and learn about those sacrifices. Now, our new monument pays tribute to all service members from all branches and all eras. While the original marker was focused on those missing and prisoners of war from the Vietnam War with 18 names and one from World War II, it should also be noted that not all these individuals are still missing, as some of our valiant fallen have been located, recovered, and returned with honors for burial since then. That series of actions, that of locating, recovering, and returning, and the resulting burial with honors, is vitally important to our community, and it's vitally important to our commitment that we will not leave anyone behind. It is crucial, and it's a mantra that we live by every day while we serve in uniform. Accordingly, those 19 are part of the larger number of men and women who since World War II have answered our nation's call to service and have put up that right hand and pledged that oath to this great nation of ours and have not come home. From World War II until today, over 83,000, I underline, over 83,000 Americans are listed by the Department of Defense and tracked by the Defense POW and Missing Personnel Office as missing or reported as a prisoner of war. They work to limit the loss or capture of Americans who are serving abroad and bring home those who are captured or killed while serving our country with the motto, keeping the promise. So with a great progress in reducing the number of prisoners of war, as well as those that are missing, and recovering quickly any American POW, our country and the various services have been keeping that promise. So with the ongoing reforms and consolidations within the Department of Defense and the merging of the various efforts, the veteran community looks forward to honoring more of our own as they are recovered and returned as they should be. Now the challenges are huge. Over 50,000 were lost since World War II at sea, as well as many others who have been reported in many countries that we may never even hear of. So just this past June, DoD announced 17 service members were recovered from a C-124 Globemaster aircraft that was lost on November 22nd, 1952 in Alaska in a weather-related crash. So we all can tell that the efforts are ongoing, and this is just one part of it. But the mission remains, and as monument says, Illinois remembers, and we will continue to remember, because for our veterans, that remembering is not just limited to parades, memorials, and events such as this. And that is why, under the leadership and commitment of our great Governor Pat Quinn, the Illinois Department of Veteran Affairs is a daily effort to help our veterans, their families, and their dependents navigate the federal system, the state system, as well as the local system of benefits, resources, and programs and services for eligible veterans. We have nearly 1 million in the state of Illinois as we stand here right next to you, shoulder to shoulder. We look forward to supporting you, and we look forward to continuing to ensure that the great citizens of the state of Illinois never forget this sacrifice now and forever. Thank you very much.
See how good we are in formation. What we're going to try to do is open this up a little bit so that the director and I, and maybe the elected officials, can help take the covering off this. Proceed with the program, and then if people want to come back and take pictures, they certainly can do that. Thank you. It was shot down in 1972. Captain McDonald's name is listed on the original memorial sign that was moved from West Plains Oasis. I had an opportunity to read a little bit about the McDonald family and Captain McDonald, but as well the people in his family who came after him, his parents and his brothers and sister, who have really exhibited how a family can stay true to the memory of one of their own who was a veteran. So we're exceedingly pleased to have here today Mr. Ben McDonald. I'd like to be talking a little bit about that.
Thank you, Paul. My name is Ben McDonald, and I am here with my sister Jeanette and her husband Patrick. We are here to represent the McDonald family. We are honored to be here for today's memorial, honoring our missing and fallen heroes. My brother, Captain George McDonald, was the youngest of 9 children, 8 boys and 1 girl. Myself and 4 other brothers served in the military honorably. George grew up in Evanston and later went to college at Ohio State, where he excelled in track. He was one of the top runners in the U.S. and also was in the ROTC. Right after college, George was commissioned an officer in the Air Force and entered the Vietnam conflict. During a flight to their target, the plane was hit by ground fire over Laos. 10 minutes after the plane was hit, the fuel exploded and the plane broke apart. There were 16 on board the aircraft. 2 of the crew bailed out and were rescued later. The remainder of the men were killed or declared missing. My brother George went missing on December 21st, 1972, a few months before the war ended in Vietnam. Over the years, his status went from missing in action to killed in action, and later changed to presumed killed. His remains to this day have never been recovered. Today there are 1,642 personnel listed by the Department of Defense as missing and unaccounted for in the Vietnam War. Our family realized that we were getting older and we needed to honor George's service to his country. A memorial service with full military honors was held at the Arlington Cemetery on May 29, 2012, 40 years after George went missing, and the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War. We want to thank the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Illinois Toll Road for bringing this memorial to the O'Hare Oasis. Thanks again for honoring our missing and fallen heroes. They will never be forgotten for their service to our country, and thanks to our active duty and retired military personnel. George, we love and miss you. God bless America. Thank you.
It's not on the program, and I want to introduce Jeanette McDonald Fry, who was that only sister that you heard about in the film.